Hey guys, it's Katie here. I just got back from the gym and the grocery store, so I'm about to do some meal prep for the week. Just wanted to show you real quick what I got going on. Bear with me, I'm gonna try to flip the camera around so we can see all the... Alright, here we go. So, we've got some carrots, and these are my mushrooms left over from something else I was cooking over the weekend. Since there was extra lean beef for stew on sale at the store today, that's what I decided to pick up. So we're going to have the carrots, the mushrooms, the beef. It's going to all go there in the crock pot. Put that on while I'm taking care of everything else. I've also got some onions, peas, some potatoes and stuff that I'm going to add to that. It just so happens that I have potatoes cooked already this week. Otherwise, I would totally be putting that in all together. But since they're leftovers, I don't need to cook them anymore. So next up, this is going to be for lunches for the week. I went with some boneless, skinless chicken thighs. Eating chicken breasts all the time really gets old, so went with thighs today. A little bit higher fat, but we'll be alright. So over here on the stove, kind of give you a good view. So we've got some sweet potatoes over there. Those are going to get wrapped up in foil and baked. The oven's preheating right now. And then I'm going to cut this spaghetti squash in half. I've got some leftover meat sauce that I'm going to make with that. So yeah, I think that about covers it. Alright, so we've got our knife and spaghetti squash. All I'm going to do here is chop off the end, cut it in half, and then we're going to use a little bit of olive oil on the inside and some spices. So bear with me, try to get a good angle on cutting this for you guys. It's kind of a pain in the butt. Let's see. Prop up the camera. Awesome. Alright. So be very careful when you're doing this. Spaghetti squash is pretty difficult to cut, and we don't want any injuries while we're meal prepping. So what I do is cut off the stem so that I have a flat end to balance the spaghetti squash on, and then cut it in half. There we go. Right, so just like a pumpkin, if you've never made spaghetti squash before, we've got seeds on the inside. We're going to take a spoon and scoop those all out. And also, just like a pumpkin, you can toast these. Alright, so that's what they look like once they're kind of hollowed out. I'm lazy, so I buy pre-minced garlic, so I'm going to dump that in there. Got a little seed. That guy out. Alright. And then, like I said, just some salt and pepper right there. So that's going to go in. We're going to cook them face down for about 45 minutes. You can check on them after 30 just to be safe. I kind of cut this unevenly, so I'm sure that side's going to be done faster than this guy right here. But once you're able to peel them apart with a fork. Alright guys, so the prep on the starches took about 5 minutes with filming the video. Right now I've got sweet potatoes and the spaghetti squash in the oven. I'll show you right there. Wrapped up sweet potatoes and spaghetti squash in there. Close that up so my apartment doesn't overheat. Yeah, so like I said, the spaghetti squash will take anywhere from 30-35 minutes, and then I leave the sweet potatoes in probably about 45. Depending on the size, you may need to do a little bit longer, but they should be good to go after that. So while that's going for 45 minutes, I can go turn on the grill, heat that up, throw the chicken on, and what I'm going to do with that is actually use different spices too. So basically what I do is if I have 4 pieces of chicken or whatever, I grab 4 different blends, and that way each one is going to be different, each piece of chicken, so I don't feel like I'm eating the same thing all the time. And then if we go over into the freezer, voila, ignore the Cool Whip, that's not mine. I do have different frozen vegetables, and I'll just steam those in the microwave when I'm ready to eat, or can throw that chicken on a salad. Alright guys, so the last thing to prep here is actually the most labor intensive from my perspective. It's just browning the meat. It's kind of a pain in the butt, but I'd rather do that than just throw the beef stew that I have into the crock pot, because then it just comes out kind of gray and it looks way better and more appetizing if it's a little browned. So I'll show you what we got going on. So I opened up some of the beef stew meat, and here is what I'm going to use to season it. Just some garlic, some Italian dried herbs, salt, and pepper as well. So those are all my spices. So what we're going to do is just shake on some seasonings, dump them in the pan over there until the meat's brown, and then it just goes straight into the crock pot. At that point you would also add a little bit of veggie stock, these carrots, potatoes if you're going to throw that in there, and then I do the mushrooms and onions, and I'm going to do some peas as well. I do that all at the end because those things would overcook otherwise, so I put them in like when I come home. Alright, let's do it. Alright, real quick, that's all the spices on that beef stew meat, and we're just going to let it kind of sit in that pan until it browns. We'll flip it over until it's cooked through on all sides, and then go ahead and dump it into the crock pot with the potatoes and the carrots and a little bit of vegetable stock. Alright, so we finished browning everything over in the pan, and I just literally dumped that straight into here with all the juices and everything. Added a little bit of stock, and then the carrots. I would also throw potatoes in at this point as well, but like I said, I already have some cooked that I'm going to use, so I don't want to overcook them. We're going to throw this into the crock pot. Alright, carry that over here. Plug it in. Awesome. And then I like to do low and slow, right? So mine just kind of automatically starts once you put that setting on. Cover it up. And I've got it going for 10 hours, so by the time I get home from work tonight, I'm just going to throw some of the mushrooms. I have some peas and some sliced up onions too. I'll throw that in there, and then in about a half hour it'll all be done. The other thing is just make sure you have enough liquid in there so that it doesn't get dried out. Alright, while I was doing all that, I threw the chicken on, and it is way too high. There we go. Calm down. So you can see I've got some barbecue, some Asian Szechuan, and then some garlic and herb. My grill's freaking out right now, but anyway, that's it. I'm going to flip them in a minute, and then the chicken will be good to go. Alright guys, last step in the process, storage. Got the chicken off the grill. We got barbecue, Szechuan, and garlic herb. All we do, throw each one separately in its own Tupperware container. Close them up like so. And they're gonna get stacked in the refrigerator. Super easy. That way when you come home and you want some dinner, just gonna steam up some vegetables. That one doesn't want to cooperate. There we go. Anyway, and then we'll grab the sweet potatoes out of here and store that as well. Alright, so I just kind of took everything out of the oven and unwrapped the baked sweet potatoes for you guys to see. I'm just going to take the skins off and then put the sweet potatoes in another Tupperware container. And then with the spaghetti squash, what we do, we're just going to take a fork and let's see if I can do this with one hand. But you're just going to peel the vegetable away from the shell. You can kind of see, it's turning on me a little bit, but you can see how it comes away in these strands that are kind of like spaghetti. Hence spaghetti squash, right? And then once I scrape all that out of there, I'm just going to dump the squash into a Tupperware container as well. Alright, so once we put everything away, we've got spaghetti squash, we've got sweet potatoes, hard to see because it's all steamy. These are all of the different chickens. Got some meat sauce from over the weekend. I need to stir that up. And then some potatoes, and that's gonna go with the stew. So literally, this is all my food for the week. And then got some eggs down here, some spinach that we'll have for breakfast. So close that up. Come back over here. So cleanup is a real breeze. I mean, I put down foil because I don't like having to clean my pans all the time. So it's literally with one hand, grab that, done. Over in the garbage. And honestly, this whole process took me about 1 hour. I started at 1 o'clock. And really it only took that long because I was filming the video. Alright guys, there you have it. That was today's meal prep. That's gonna last me hopefully the next 4 days, and then by today's Monday, so by Friday night for dinner I'll be cooking something brand new, have a little more time on the weekend. And hopefully you see from this video that meal prep doesn't have to be super complicated, it doesn't have to be really time consuming. It's just gonna take a little practice to get a system down.